Hi everyone, Arnold here, santamuertemagic.com. Thank you so much for tuning in. The topic of today's video is going to be competing interests among Santa Muerte devotees. This topic was inspired by a couple of conversations I've had so far. One of them took place about last year, about a year ago. The other conversation was much more recent, and I'd like to address both of those conversations together. So, in the first case, the first question, it was a question that came to me in the form of an email. This person said, I am a devotee of Santa Muerte. I'm going through a divorce and I'm petitioning the Santa Muerte to win custody of my kids. The problem is, my ex is also a devotee of Santa Muerte, and he is petitioning Santa Muerte for custody of the same kids. The question was basically, what can I do to increase my chances of success in the matter? And also, is it even worth it to petition if the two petitions are going to cancel each other out? Taking those questions in reverse order, is it worth it to make the petition if the two petitions are going to cancel each other out? Absolutely it is worth it. I think that, remember that one of the pillars, one of the foundations of magic is intent. If you ever get to the point where you just throw up your hands and say, oh, well, it doesn't matter. It's neither here nor there. It'll just be a waste of time. That sends a very clear message about what you intend for your outcome. It sends a very clear message to the Santa Muerte, and it also sends a clear message to your subconscious mind that basically you can stop acting as if what you want is what you want. You've basically thrown in the towel, and if you get to that point in your mind, then I would not be surprised at all if you don't get what you want, which at that point has become something that you didn't really want, I would argue. So long as you want something, there's nothing wrong, magically speaking, there's nothing wrong with going down swinging, with doing everything in your power to make that thing come to pass. As far as what this person could do to increase her chances of success, this goes back to the relationship that we have with Santa Muerte. If you are a regular devotee, so not someone who's just asking for help from Santa Muerte with one issue. If you're a regular devotee and you are building, or you have worked to build a relationship with Santa Muerte over the months or years, my advice would be to keep that relationship up. Continue to foster that relationship. Continue to keep Santa Muerte present in your life. Continue to make offerings. That can be physical offerings or offerings of prayer. Continue to pray to Santa Muerte from the heart, in your own mind. Any moment you have to yourself throughout the day, it could just be driving in the car, it could be walking to work or to run an errand. Invite the Santa Muerte to spend that time with you. It's as simple as saying something like, Santa Muerte, join me as I move throughout my city. Join me as I run this errand. Be with me. I could do it right now. Santa Muerte, be with me as I complete this video for my fans. It's as easy as that. Keep her present. Keep that relationship strong, and I think that is probably the best thing that you can do in terms of helping yourself, in terms of helping any petition that you make be successful. Now, this being said, remember that Santa Muerte magic is magic of petition. So we are asking the Santa Muerte. We are not commanding her. We are not demanding anything of her. And ultimately, it is her prerogative which petitions are granted and which are ignored. In the case of this custody battle between two devotees who are petitioning for competing interests, I'll illustrate the point with an analogy, and actually it's quite fitting, but if you're a parent of more than one child, if you know anyone who's the parent of more than one child, you'll know that sometimes the children will go to the parents asking for competing things. One might say, I want spaghetti for dinner. The other one will say, I want pizza for dinner. Okay, well, the parent probably isn't going to make two different meals. So one of the kids is going to have to go without what they want. When this happens, when the Santa Muerte has to make a choice between two devotees asking for the same thing, it is just that. It is a choice that has to be made. It is not an indication that she loves one more than the other. We are all equal under Santa Muerte. She will come for each of us just the same. None of us get special treatment. Just like in that analogy with the parents. If the parent says, okay, well, we're going to get pizza tonight and maybe we'll get spaghetti another night. It doesn't mean that the parent is sending a message of love to the kids. It doesn't mean the parent is ranking the kids from best to worst. It just means that at that moment in time, a decision had to be made, an executive decision had to be made, and that was it. What we can do as devotees in times like those is take comfort in the fact that the Santa Muerte had all the information she needed to make the decision, and that the decision was very likely the best decision that could have been made. But again, continue to make your intent known as this decision is being made. So going back to the analogy with the two kids who one wants spaghetti and one wants pizza. If the kid who wants pizza just says, I don't care, whatever, do whatever you want, doesn't matter, you don't love me anyway, well, that kid probably isn't going to get his pizza. But even if that kid makes his intent known and still doesn't get what he wants, at the very least, that kid can rest assured knowing that, okay, I did everything I could have to get what I wanted, and hey, it just didn't work out this time. We'll try again in the future. In other words, stay positive with it, roll with the punches when they come, and don't adopt a pessimistic, defeatist attitude in your outlook. Once you throw in the towel and say, oh, it doesn't matter, do whatever you want, that is exactly what you will invite into your life. A sense of not mattering and permission to everyone else to do what they want, even when it goes against what you want. There was another conversation I had with somebody, another devotee. This is the other conversation that I spoke about earlier. This one was not so much a zero-sum game, so it wasn't two devotees going after the same thing. I guess in a sense it was. But essentially this devotee was petitioning to Santa Muerte for spiritual protection, for cleansing, spiritual cleansing, and they had received word that there was somebody working against them, basically praying to the Santa Muerte to send negative energy their way. So someone out there is praying to send negative energy to this person, and that person is praying to deflect negative energy. The question that came from this person was, what does the Santa Muerte do in that instance? And what I told this person was, remember that the nature of Santa Muerte is equality. We are all the same under Santa Muerte. We will all eventually die. She will eventually come for us all. Nobody gets special treatment. This is why the Santa Muerte is often depicted with the scales of justice. This is why the Santa Muerte is often referred to as the great equalizer. And I think I've spoken about this in a different video. But essentially, if if granting a petition would create an imbalance in the universe, then we can count on the Santa Muerte ignoring that petition, because she does not like to create an imbalance. She likes the scales to be balanced as much as possible. That is her nature as the great equalizer. In these cases, if somebody is working against you, sending negative energy your way, especially if they're using the Santa Muerte to do it, and if it is undeserved, then personally, if this was happening to me, I wouldn't give any thought to it. I am confident that I am not the type of person who deserves to have the negative energy of other people sent to me. Even if I found myself in a situation where I might be feeling guilty about the way I treated somebody, in that case, if you think, okay, maybe I did do something that would warrant the scales being put back into balance. Maybe I did something to knock the scales out of balance, and something the Santa Muerte sends to me might be deserved. In that case, I mean, it's not hard at all to help balance the scales in your own favor. Just reach out and try to make amends. That's not difficult. You don't have to track the person down. If you have wronged somebody, you don't have to track them down and make the apology eye to eye. You can send, especially in this day and age, send a note. Hey, the way I treated you has been bothering me. I'm not that kind of person. I apologize. Explain why you know what you did was wrong. Explain that you would like to make amends and that you would like to move forward from it. And also explain that their response is not needed, but that you wanted to make what you were feeling known. There's nothing wrong with apologizing. There's nothing wrong with swallowing your pride and admitting when you're wrong. This person who was asking the question specifically, they admitted that, I can't think of anything wrong that I did. I think this person has a grudge. I think they might be a little jealous of some of the things I've gotten that they haven't, and I think that may be the source of their animosity. In a case like that, that goes back to the balance thing. Well, if sending the negative energy your way would create an imbalance, then the Santa Muerte won't fulfill it. Again, it's not in her nature to throw things out of balance. And this is different from the first example with the child custody case. Those kids have to go with one of the parents. You can't cut the kids in half. Generally, we don't want to split up siblings. I don't know how many kids there were, but generally we don't like to split up siblings, at least in the culture I come from, the legal culture I come from. And so even though one parent gets the kids and the other one doesn't, that's not a true imbalance, because the decision has to be made. And I think most people would agree with me that keeping the kids together and sending them to one parent is often the best for the kids. What kind of imbalance would that create in the lives of those kids if they were split up? I think that would create the greater imbalance, and in terms of what the Santa Muerte has to work with, keeping the kids together with one parent over the other would probably be the best case scenario, at least in a scenario where the parents can't get along. Again, and that doesn't mean that the other parent is never going to see the kids again. That just means that the situation is going to be a little different, at least until the kids reach adulthood. It's not like the kids were being taken away forever, hidden by the state for the rest of time. So anyway, I just thought that was an interesting topic to cover. I hope I've explained everything clearly. Essentially, the points that I would like you to walk away with are avoid the defeatist attitudes. If you want something, even if someone is actively working to get that thing, even if that other person happens to be a devotee of Santa Muerte praying for the exact same thing, continue to go after it. Magically speaking, go down swinging. Fight for what you want until the very end. And do anything you can in the physical world. I can't give official or I can't give legal or medical advice, but magically speaking, I think you should go down swinging. And in terms of being the victim of unjustified negative energy sent your way, just know that if you've done nothing to deserve that energy, you don't need to worry about it. The Santa Muerte won't fulfill it. And if you did do something to justify that energy, then do what you can to put the scales back in balance yourself, which is try to make amends. Say you're sorry and try to move on. Be an adult about it, basically. So that's it. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, there's a contact form on my website if you have any questions. You can reach out to me there. There's also the messenger system on Patreon. And I will see you all next time. Bye.